A figure stands at entry threshold of retail floor. Dimensions: 42 meters wide, 61 meters deep. Visual display units visible from entry position: 314 distinct elements. Ceiling-mounted luminaires: 217. Illuminance at standing eye height: 940 lux. Color temperature: 3,500 Kelvin. Ambient sound level: 63 decibels. Individual count in visible space: 27 at 14:07:12. Figure advances 3 meters past threshold. Motion stops. Head orientation: forward, 2 degrees upward from horizontal. Gaze target: no fixed object, diffuse visual field distribution. Arms: lateral hang, no swing. Feet: parallel, shoulder width stance. Blink rate measurement initiated via 60 frames per second camera. First 10 seconds, 4 blinks. Calculated rate, 24 per minute. Second 10-second interval, 3 blinks. Rate, 18 per minute. Third interval, 2 blinks. Rate, 12 per minute. Fourth interval, 2 blinks. Rate, 12 per minute. At 60 seconds post-threshold, cumulative blink count 11, mean rate 11 per minute. Baseline adult blink rate established in pre-entry corridor 18 per minute. Suppression magnitude at 60 seconds 39% below individual baseline. No object contact occurs, no verbal exchange, no device interaction. Blink suppression onset confirmed within first 60 seconds of retail floor.
Clean attribution would assign blink rate reduction to active product interest. No product examination occurs. Hands do not contact merchandise within first 4 minutes of observation. Eyes do not execute sustained fixation on any single display unit longer than 1.3 seconds during initial observation window. No reach motion initiates. No price comparison behavior detected. Second attribution: navigational planning and spatial mapping. Head rotation rate measured at 0.3 events per minute during entry phase. Each event 4 to 9 degrees amplitude. Low amplitude and frequency indicate absence of systematic environmental scanning. Route selection not actively in progress. Third attribution: social monitoring of other shoppers. Eye movement analysis. Gaze not directed toward other individuals in space. Social gaze events 0 in first 90 seconds. Crowd density 27 individuals present. Social attention toward others none confirmed. Physical fatigue excluded. Entry via horizontal grade from ground level car park. No stair ascent recorded. Respiratory rate 16 per minute within resting range. Heart rate 68 beats per minute. No exertion markers detected. Blink suppression quantified at 39% reduction against individual pre-entry baseline. No product interest present. No navigation demand active. No social monitoring occurring. No physical exertion detected. The blink rate declined without behavioral cause traceable to commercial function.
Measurement continues. 2-minute mark. Cumulative blinks 41 against expected 84 at 18 per minute baseline. Deficit 43 blinks. Rate at 2 minutes 9.7 per minute. Suppression 46% below baseline. 4-minute mark. Blink rate 8.2 per minute. Suppression 54%. Corneal surface dryness index via ocular coherence metrics increases from baseline score of 2.1 to 4.7 on scale of 0 to 10. 6-minute mark. Blink rate 7.9 per minute. Corneal dryness index 6.1. Micro-expression frequency reduced. Baseline facial movement frequency pre-entry 41 micro-movement events per minute. At 6 minutes, 22 events per minute. Reduction 46%. Orbital muscle activity decreased. Face static duration increasing. 8-minute mark. Figure has not moved from initial 3-meter depth position. Duration of static stance 8 minutes. Pre-entry posture before first movement, maximum 11 seconds, established during baseline period. Behavioral output in 8-minute window. One object touched at minute 9.3. Duration of touch 2.1 seconds. Object replaced on rack without removal. No locomotion to point of sale area. No transaction initiated. Facial stillness increased. Commercial environment output 0.
The variable is not attention. Attention markers include saccade rate, fixation duration, and pupil dilation. Retail exposure, 62 per minute. Pre-entry baseline, 58 per minute. Saccade rate unchanged or marginally elevated. Fixation duration on any element below 2 seconds. No deep engagement marker present. The variable is not decision load. Decision events per 8-minute window. 1 object touched. 0 items selected. 0 comparisons conducted. Decision demand minimal. The traced variable is blink suppression magnitude per unit time of simultaneous visual element exposure. The retail environment presents 314 distinct visual elements within the combined foveal and peripheral visual field. Each element competes for processing resource allocation. No element achieves dominance. No hierarchy forms. All elements maintain equivalent luminance weight. 940 lux uniform. All elements maintain equal spatial priority. No single element subtends more than 4 degrees of visual angle from standing position. Blink suppression is not directed at a specific target. The response corresponds to aggregate visual density. More simultaneous visual elements present, fewer resources available for orbital motor execution. Blinking interrupts visual input processing for 80 to 150 milliseconds per event. The orbital motor system defers the interruption. The traced element, orbital motor deferral rate as function of simultaneous visual element count. The threshold is spatial and quantitative, not semantic.
Retail floor at 112307. Section Consumer Electronics. Display density 391 visual elements within 40 square meter zone. Ceiling grid illumination 1040 lux. Wall-mounted screens 14 active. Cycling product demonstration content at 3-second scene transitions. Individual enters zone. Pre-entry baseline established at adjacent corridor position. Gaze directed at blank wall surface. 19 blinks per minute confirmed via 30-second measurement. Entry initiated. Step count to first halt, 9 steps, 6.3 meters into zone. Stop position, central aisle, equidistant from display walls at 4.8 meters bilateral. No single screen occupies dominant visual position. 14 screens simultaneously present across peripheral and near peripheral field. Minute 1, blink rate 17 per minute, reduction 11%. Minute 2, 13 per minute, reduction 32%. Minute 3, 10 per minute, reduction 47%. Minute 4, 8 per minute, reduction 58%. Minute 5, 6.3 per minute, reduction 67%. Head movement rate at minute 5, 0.1 events per minute. Orbital muscle EMG decreased 41% from baseline. Overall facial muscle EMG decreased 37%. Face reduces activity as exposure duration extends. Product interaction at minute 5, 0. Screen approach behavior, 0. No device lifted. No information panel examined. No staff member addressed. Commercial engagement not initiated. At minute 6, individual turns and exits zone. Entry into adjacent corridor. Blink rate at 30 seconds post-exit, 16 per minute. Recovery magnitude, 153% increase from exit rate of 6.3.
Re-entry executed 20 minutes after first visit. Individual returns to electronics zone. Pre-entry baseline re-established at corridor position. 18 blinks per minute across 30-second measurement window. Second exposure session initiates at 11:46:41. Zone configuration unchanged. 14 screens active. 391 display elements. Illumination 1040 lux. Blink rate at entry 18. Minute 1, 15. Minute 2, 11. Minute 3, 8.4. Rate descent accelerated relative to first session. Prior exposure produces faster suppression onset. Minute 4, 6.1 per minute. First session suppression depth matched in 3 fewer minutes. Minute 5, 5.7 per minute. Below first session minimum. Suppression depth 68% below baseline. Orbital muscle EMG at minute 5, 47% below baseline. Exceeds first session reduction at equivalent duration. Facial stillness index higher across second session at all matched time points. The mundane saturation threshold is reached when simultaneous visual element density exceeds available processing differentiation capacity, suppressing orbital motor output as a measurable byproduct. Second individual enters same zone during session. Entry blink rate 21 per minute. Minute 1, 16. Minute 2, 12. Minute 3, 8.9. Convergent trajectory confirmed. Different individual, identical suppression profile. Combined commercial function output across both individuals across 12 minutes of zone exposure, 0 product interactions, 0 commercial inquiries, 0 transactions initiated. Blink rate deficit accumulated, 143 blinks below baseline across combined observation.
A figure stands at the entry threshold of a public library reading room. Dimensions 28 meters wide, 40 meters deep. Visual element count from entry position 47 distinct items. Ceiling luminaires 62. Illuminance 380 lux. Ambient sound 31 decibels. Individual count in space 9 at 14:33:18. Figure advances 4 meters into reading room. Stops. Head orientation forward 1 degree downward from horizontal. Arms lateral hang. Pre-entry blink rate established at corridor position 19 per minute via 30-second measurement. Measurement initiates. Minute 1, 18 blinks per minute. Reduction 5% within normal measurement variability. Minute 2, 17 per minute. Reduction 11% within variability range. Minute 3, 18 per minute. Hold. Minute 4, 17 per minute. Minute 5, 18 per minute. Rate hold stable. 5-minute mean, 17.6 per minute. Reduction from baseline, 7%. No suppression pattern identified. Values fall within normal spontaneous blink rate variability. Head movement rate at minute 5, 2.3 events per minute. Orbital muscle EMG 4% below baseline, within normal range. Overall facial muscle EMG 6% below baseline, within variability. Activity within 5 minutes. Individual select seating at minute 1.7. Opens carried bag. Extracts document folder. Reading behavior initiates at minute 2.4. Page turn events 4 across subsequent 3 minutes. Exit at minute 5.9. Corridor blink rate 19 per minute. No recovery event measurable. Blink rate was not suppressed. Recovery was not required. Visual element count 47 versus 391. Outcome stable rate versus suppressed rate. Contrast present by spatial density difference alone.
Measurement protocol cycles across 12 environments in 3 alternating sequences. Cycle 1. Retail electronics zone, 5 minutes, blink suppression, 67%. Library reading room, 5 minutes, rate stable at -7%. Retail grocery section, 5 minutes, suppression, 61%. Cycle 2, retail apparel floor, 5 minutes, suppression 59%. Museum exhibition room with 43 display items, 5 minutes, stable at -6%. Retail cosmetics section, 5 minutes, suppression 64%. Cycle 3, retail sporting goods, 5 minutes, suppression 62%. Office workspace with 51 visual elements, 5 minutes, stable at -5%. Retail home goods section, 5 minutes, suppression 65%. Across 9 environments in 3 cycles, suppression present in all 6 retail exposures, absent in all 3 non-retail exposures. Retail suppression mean 63%. Non-retail deviation mean -6.3% within variability. Binary separation confirmed across all 9 measurements. Visual element density at suppression onset, greater than 200 elements in simultaneous field of view across all retail instances measured. Non-retail environments, 43 to 61 elements. Boundary between suppression and non-suppression, defined by element density threshold, not environment category or semantic function. Monthly observation aggregate, 47 retail entries logged for one individual. Combined blink suppression duration, 19 minutes 40 seconds across monitored sessions. Baseline blink count deficit, 4,231 blinks below expected rate across monthly retail exposure. A hand extends toward a display unit. Movement initiates along reach vector. Motion halts at 40% of trajectory distance. No contact occurs. The hand holds in suspension. A sound begins at low vocal threshold, low. The phoneme cuts. It echoes briefly in the commercial acoustic space. The word does not complete. Ambient retail audio track sustains. Music and promotional content loop continuous at 63 decibels. The audio track ceases without fade transition. A brief silence follows. Blink rate logs document suppression in each retail entry. Recovery occurs post-exit. Suppression resumes on next entry. The threshold is crossed each time element density exceeds capacity. Face stills. Face recovers. Face enters. Face stills again. The deficit accumulates. The recovery resets. The entry repeats. The pattern recurs with each retail threshold crossing.